Hello. Are you ready, y'all? Are you ready, y'all? First stop sheepful, then a train, not a cab full. The central station in the morning. Chuck your bags and head to Barney's breakfast. You will need for days up on your feet. Pick yourself a bag of weed. Ha. Next stop a rokery. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Reggae at the Bush Doctor. Hip hop, tweeter, comma. Good hash I heard at the Bluebird. That how we do it, y'all? Coffee shop crawl.
Frederick Polak, you may have a new question.
Good morning. Frederick Polak, psychiatrist from Amsterdam. Well, it is this continuation on the question I already posed, which I will very shortly repeat, the relationship between the availability of cannabis in the Netherlands and the relatively low or average level of use, which in my view is contrary to the theory of prohibition. But now I would like to ask Mr. Costa, we heard that you made a visit to Holland and you visited a coffee shop and a consumer room, and I would like to ask you, what did you learn in Holland and what are your impressions?
Regarding Mr. Polak continuing continuing questioning on the very same issue, the relationship between availability and level of use. Availability of drugs and the level availability of alcohol and the level availability of tobacco and the level. And I'm surprised that Mr. Polak does not focus on as well as tobacco and alcohol. Yes, indeed. For a number of reasons. I'm very close to the Netherlands, emotionally, culturally, and many other reasons in a country that I respect. I decided, in order to address as scientifically as we could possibly do, I decided to travel in a study mission to Amsterdam, the core, if you wish, of initiatives which are obviously quite problematic, like the coffee shops, or for that matter the sex windows. Women are exposed in windows at street level. I decided to go there. It was a very interesting session a couple of weeks ago. I met with the mayor at the outset, with senior officials from the administration. We learned about what the policy they are pursuing, the municipality of Amsterdam, not the Netherlands at large. And then we had a second and final session late in the afternoon to conclude in terms of appreciation. We are producing a discussion paper which will be posted on our website very soon. So Mr. Polak, wait a few more days and then you will enjoy our conclusions. But our conclusions are along the line of what I've been saying since a long time. Availability causes use. And the city of Amsterdam is characterized by rates of drug addiction, I'm referring to cannabis use, 3 times greater than anywhere else in Europe. Thanks.
Well, Dr. Costa's position on that is simply untenable. And what he said about the higher levels of use in the Netherlands compared to the rest of Europe is simply objectively wrong. There are no two ways about this. It's not a matter of opinion. It's not subjective. He is objectively absolutely wrong. Cannabis consumption in the Netherlands is low in comparison to most other European countries. But in any case, we shouldn't be focusing on consumption. We should be focusing on outcomes. We should be focusing on health, social and economic costs. We should be focusing on deaths, disease, crime and corruption. Deaths in the Netherlands are very low compared to Sweden, which is very much of a very different view and is focused on use reduction and regards harm reduction as very questionable. So he ends up with the wrong answer and he starts off with the wrong question. There's in fact only one study in the world which compares two cities in two countries using identical methodology to try and work out what happens to cannabis. And that's a study that Craig Reinemann from California and Peter Cohen from Amsterdam, where they compared cannabis consumption in more punitive San Francisco to cannabis consumption in more liberal Amsterdam. And San Francisco and Amsterdam were chosen because they have many similarities, although they're coastal cities of similar size that are much more liberal than the rest of the countries that they are part of. But in any case, when they polled residents in a meticulous methodology that was identical in both countries, what they found was that the proportion of residents who had smoked cannabis more than 25 times was 39% in San Francisco, 12% in Amsterdam. There were minor differences in age and the percentage of married people, those sorts of things, but not near enough to account for a threefold difference. When they asked people who had smoked cannabis whether they had been offered heroin, cocaine or amphetamine the last time they purchased cannabis, 51% of San Francisco residents compared to 15% of Amsterdam residents said that they had been offered these more serious illicit drugs. And so that's an argument for the separation of markets, which the Dutch have long believed to be something that they've achieved with their more liberal approaches to cannabis. Now, if drug policy analysts want to see heroin, cocaine, amphetamines and cannabis supplied by the same dealer, then San Francisco's your choice. If, on the other hand, you want to see heroin, cocaine, amphetamine market and the cannabis market kept apart, then Amsterdam is the choice. Depends what people want to achieve. Personally, I would want my family and friends to purchase cannabis, if they're going to purchase cannabis from someone not trying to sell them heroin, cocaine, and amphetamine.
Coffee shop. Lacana, Pink Floyd, I want. Lacana, Pink Floyd, I want. Any day, 420 Cafe. Kingston, man. Any day, coffee shop.